FEMA has some bad apples, Trump's plan for America, and the liberal insanity reaches its boiling point. This is The Loaded Mic, and I'm Dan Watt. The whole world is watching to see what President Trump will do. The bad guys are suddenly on their best behavior, and the political left is losing their collective mind. Now, we've already had some very successful court cases with respect to the Second Amendment, and the Supreme Court is actually doing their job of supporting and defending the Constitution. But the gun grabbers are starting to sweat because they know that once Trump gets in, he could possibly appoint 3 new Supreme Court justices. Now, there's talk of Judge Clarence Thomas and Judge Alito retiring, which would give President Trump the ability to oversee their replacement, keeping a conservative majority. But there's also concern over the health and age of Justice Sotomayor. Many know that Sotomayor has been an enemy to gun rights, so it would be a real benefit to America if Trump were able to replace her. The Democrats know this, which is why they're trying to push her out while Biden is still in office. Now, they're willing to eat their own and offend the entire Latino community by pushing out a Latina liberal justice, just so they can replace her with someone younger for the purpose of longevity at the Supreme Court. Now, the Democrats are already losing their support from Latinos, but now they've found themselves in a precarious situation. They have to decide which is more important to them, supporting Latinos in the hopes of getting their votes, or keeping as many anti-Second Amendment justices on the bench. Well, we'll wait and see what happens, but if Trump were able to replace yet another liberal justice, you're going to see some heads explode on the left. So we're going to talk about this and many other things with... I'm messed up here because John's not here. I don't even know how to... I can't introduce John. I had a good introduction for him.
You can introduce him. He's right here.
And... with Anthony Diso. Oh, boy.
We're all messed up today.
We're all messed up.
John's hair's not here.
I say him and his hair aren't here. And geez, what are we going to do?
He's moving today.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, whatever. It's his loss. But
right.
Unfortunately, it's the loss for our viewers. Or maybe they appreciate it. I don't know. Anyway, so they're talking about replacing Sotomayor because she's getting old and she's got diabetes. What are your thoughts?
Well, that'd be great. But you know the Democrats are going to throw her out.
If the left replaces her, they're going to just replace her with another liberal.
They're going to get rid of her.
But they're just going to get another liberal in there. You know, so I'm hoping that she says, no, I'm not leaving. And then when Trump gets in, she decides to leave.
That'd be great.
Oh, my God. Could you?
That's really sticking a tear in the party.
Go freaking nuts.
January 21st, she's like, bye.
Bye. See you later. Give Trump the option, but that's, I don't know. So just a quick announcement. We were just talking about this before the show. Elise Stefanik, who is our rep right from our district here in New York. And I guess Trump just appointed her to
UN ambassador.
UN ambassador. Wow. Now, that's congratulations to Elise. And I happen to know her. I've done some speaking events with her and stuff like that. She's just a really great person. And it's so cool that somebody so close to us is going straight to the top. So congratulations to Elise Stefanik. The only problem is I think if she leaves, then we're going to lose a seat. We're going to lose a Republican seat. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I guess we'll...
Well, she's Senate, right?
She's a congresswoman, so she's in the House of Representatives.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. So, yeah. Let me just see. I wonder if we have any numbers yet.
216 still, I think. They're still trying to tally the cheating ballots over there in Arizona.
Yeah, they haven't.
You know, that's a third world country over there.
Yeah, they haven't got
What's
quite.
What's it been? Almost a week?
Yeah. Well,
almost a week.
Anthony, come on now. It's hard for them to count over there in California.
Me and you could have counted all the ballots.
I know. What a freaking joke. I don't know how people.
How is Laura Trump not on top of this?
Yeah, good question. I don't know.
What are they doing over there in Alaska? Fishing?
Yeah, I don't know. They we're waiting on California. We're waiting on Alaska.
Of course, California.
Are we waiting on, you say, Alaska?
Arizona and
Arizona,
Alaska.
yeah. And it seems like they were able to push Kerry Lake out somehow.
Which is weird because Trump won Arizona.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. That right there tells you they just cheated again.
I know. Well, Kerry Lake is a bulldog. She's going to fight, and I'm sure that if something went wrong, she's going to put up a fight.
Something definitely is going on. It doesn't take 7 days to count ballots, man. This is just crazy. Well, hopefully Trump will fix the election thing where, we put it into, some kind of law where nobody can touch it, that you need an ID or you don't vote.
Yeah.
No more ballots. You got to stop with the paper ballots because we saw what happened in 2020. 23 million people extra. I guess we have an extra 23 million people somewhere.
Yeah.
Just floating around.
Well, yeah, so to talk about that for just a minute, Obama, he was averaging about 60 to 65,000 or million votes for both his elections. And then I guess, Democrats, that's what their average was. And now what did Harris get? About the same? About 65 or 60 or something like that. And Trump averaged about the same. He was in the 70s, both his times. But somehow there was this really weird thing that happened with Joe Biden.
Got 81.
81. All of a sudden, the guy who's hiding out in his basement gets over 20 million more votes than Obama.
But somehow those people didn't vote this time.
Yeah, and then they decided to sit this one out. Boy, but they wouldn't cheat, would they? The Democrats? They
That
wouldn't.
right there just tells you something wasn't right there.
I think it's pretty obvious. I think they packed the ballot boxes with
Jack Smith is listening.
Oh boy. I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
They packed the ballot
cheated.
boxes. And you know what though? It's better now when you think about it, because now Trump will have the House and the Senate.
Back then he wouldn't have had either.
He wouldn't have had it, right? So their cheating benefits us in a way. It was a rough 4 years.
But that definitely needs to be fixed while he's in office. Paper ballot should be for elderly people in a home.
Yeah.
People who can't get out and vote, but 90% of us can get out and vote.
Well, later on, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, but later in the show, we're going to talk about all of Trump's new plans. And it's a huge list, and it's an incredible
According to the liberals, nothing's going to be good for us.
Oh, no, of course not.
No.
Well, let me get to one of our sponsors real quick before we get into the show. This device, the Cali Key, removes your AR from the definition of an assault weapon. So did you know that when so-called assault weapons ban lists are created, they exclude manually operated bolt-action firearms? So just by dropping this Cali Key into your direct impingement AR in place of your semi-automatic BCG, you'll have a bolt-action rifle that falls outside the definition of so-called assault weapon. So you don't have to do anything else. So give the Cali Key a look, because with it, you could retain all your rifle's features, avoid registration complications, revive your black rifle sales if you're an FFL, regain the ability to do private party transfers, legally transport across hostile jurisdictions, hunt with your AR in areas like Pennsylvania, enhance long-range precision and quieter suppressed shooting. Cali Key has state-specific expert attorney opinions on its website and supports grassroots Second Amendment organizations with its sales. Cali Key's mission is to empower customers and claw back our civil liberties. So go to CaliKey.com and use the discount code LOADED. You got to check these guys out. It's a really cool device. All right. So there's so much stuff here. FEMA. All right. Let's get into FEMA just a little bit, because what they've done is just outrageous. This is from the New York Post. A FEMA official who allegedly told workers to avoid Florida homes with Trump signs. She finally got fired. Now, everyone's heard about what happened here. This woman, well, let me read a little bit. Federal Emergency Management Agency FEMA supervisor accused of ordering her subordinates to skip Florida homes with Trump campaign signs, and she's been fired. So during the, so if there was a Trump sign or something like that on the property, they would skip them and leave those people with nothing after the hurricane. What's her name? Marnie Washington.
Marnie
was sacked for telling disaster relief workers in Lake Placid, Florida to not, this is a quote, not go to homes with yard signs supporting President-elect Trump. This is a clear violation of FEMA's core values and principles to help people regardless of their political affiliation, she said, adding that this employee has been terminated and we have referred the matter to the Office of Special Counsel. She said, I will continue to do everything I can to make sure this never happens again. The disturbing directive was allegedly made in late October as Washington, 39, worked with a FEMA team in the central Florida town in the wake of Hurricane Milton. Avoid homes advertising Trump, she wrote in the best practices memo to employees, which was obtained by the Daily Wire. And the instructions also advise them to stay hydrated and follow rules. Okay, so stay hydrated, follow rules, don't help the Trump supporters.
Okay.
Okay. That was basically it.
Oh, that's a great person to be in charge of something.
Yeah. But, so that's not the end. I got a little video here. So let's play. I think we got the video clip up first. Do we not? Yes. Let's hit that clip real quick.
When you heard this news about FEMA and avoiding what appears to be some 20 homes in Florida?
Well, to say that I was surprised would be a lie. I don't necessarily want to demean or demonize every FEMA employee or worker that's out there. I think there are a lot of them that have a good heart that want to help people. The question that it leads me to is to ask the question of what sort of culture has been established in order for, FEMA personnel on the ground, or leadership for that matter, to provide this sort of instruction to FEMA personnel that want to provide help. And more so, I had an interaction with local FEMA officials as well, and they wanted to help people. And what was the interesting thing is it was stated that, hey, we can't have our fingerprints on this, which I think it leads back to the actual question, which is what sort of culture and what sort of fear is there in place at some of the lower levels of FEMA personnel where they're afraid they're going to lose their job if they don't speak up against actions that are blatantly not aligned with what the organization is supposed to be doing.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? So nobody said anything. Like I'd be the first one to speak up and say, "What the hell are you doing? What are you talking about? Don't help Trump supporters." And I would do it if it was the other way around. If it was don't help Kamala supporters, I'd speak up on that too. I just don't understand. Some people are so weak that they can't speak up. And
no, they're all cowardly chickens.
Here's a photo of the woman who made the announcement to hold back help for Trump supporters. There she is. There she is. But there's an interesting twist to the story.
Uh-oh. Is she working at McDonald's?
Left-wing media has been avoiding posting this evil woman's photo.
Of course.
Instead, this is the photo they're using.
That's not even her.
Now,
well, that's racist.
I wonder why. I wonder why they would use this. Like, can you put it back on that one, please? That's CBS News. That's the picture they posted. So you're led to believe that
it's her.
It's this woman in the photo.
She's probably getting ridiculed right now. Her neighbors are probably like, "You filthy old lady! How dare you?"
What could it be? Racial bias from the left?
Yeah, probably.
Because do you see a difference between these two women? Let's go back. Let's flip back and forth to those two pictures again. So this is the photo they give you at CBS, left-wing media, and this is the woman who actually did it. What's the difference there? Why wouldn't the left-wing media want to post the actual picture? Why would conservative media be the only ones to post that. This is the stuff, man.
There you go.
It's just so freaking bad. These people, it doesn't fit the narrative. They didn't want a black woman to be accused of such a thing, but she actually did it. Why are we so cautious about what the color of their skin is and how we report the news?
Well, they probably don't want her. Who's going to hire someone like that? I wouldn't hire her.
I would hire anyone.
If I saw her face on TV, she wouldn't work again.
The problem is, it doesn't even matter if you're white or black or whatever.
But they're protecting her.
Yeah, of course they are.
Exactly what they're doing.
It really pisses me off. We got a lot to get to. Let me get to. I want to tell you about LifeWave though. LifeWave is a transdermal patch that allows your body to produce its own natural pharmacy through light energy. Now, the X30 patch tells your body to emit heat in the form of light, which reflects back into your body, elevating a certain copper peptide. Now, this peptide activates your stem cells, which are the only type that can move throughout your body to heal inflammation. LifeWave offers an affordable membership and has a history of wellness that spans 20 years. It's been around since 2004 to help organizations like SEAL Team 6 and the Olympic swim team stay awake and alert. Today, these non-addictive patches are used by thousands of athletes and military professionals. LifeWave is available in over 80 countries, giving millions the opportunity of maximum wellness. So for more information, testimonials, patents, and studies, go to justpatch.biz. Justpatch.biz. So I wanted to point that out. The racial bias, the racism that CBS News appears to have been engaging in. I don't want to accuse them. It appears that way, right? Unless they just couldn't find a picture of the real woman. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows what happened there? But anyway, I think it's time for a woke patrol.
Woke patrol.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.
After watching all the lunatics react to the Trump election, it's pretty clear that if we don't finally look at these radical leftists and recognize that they've been subjected to a very dangerous form of brainwashing, we're going to be in trouble in the future. And we can't continue to babysit these circus freaks and pretend that they're normal. These are adults acting like rabid toddlers. Watch this.
It's all right. It's all right. I feel that way too. It's all right. We feel that way together, okay? Let it out.
Let it out. Woo. Someone forgot to take their meds this morning. Uh-oh. Doorbell. Man,
everybody wants to show the happy side. I'm mad as hell.
The rage.
But because I have responsibilities, I'm going to do these freaking dishes.
Yeah, go do the dishes, lady. But
that's it. I'm going to do the dishes.
Go do the dishes. Oh.
Woo! She was hot.
Their public display of anger tells us several things about these people. They obviously seek attention. They're screaming for help. They appear to be self-destructive. And if shaving their own heads is not proof of that, I don't know what is. It's very reminiscent of troubled adolescents cutting themselves. They're refusing to listen to any other points of view. And this is interesting because the answers are there for them, but they've been conditioned to reject them. They've lost control over their own faculties, and that could be dangerous to the rest of us. And they've clearly been bottling up a very scary anger and rage. And this is a result of a very well-orchestrated brainwashing. And now these people are a real threat to everyone, and they've become our problem. Now we have to figure out how we're going to deal with them. So have you ever seen Did you ever see that video, by the way?
No,
What did you think?
she's got problems. She needs help. If you're that angry over something like an election,
Yeah.
oh my God, imagine if you break up with her.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Make sure you're out of the house before that
Oh,
happens.
my God.
I mean, actually walk out and on the way say, yeah, we're done.
Yeah. Yeah. My God.
And then change your name, move out of the state,
yeah.
and
Change your identity,
get
the
a
whole
new
thing.
job.
Yep.
Ask the FBI to relocate you. Because that woman is absolutely crazy.
Can you imagine being the guy that's married to her?
Imagine living next door to that and listening to that and be like, what's going on next door? What are you doing?
It's really amazing. It's just funny. It's funny in a way, but then you got to think about it, man.
She probably doesn't even know what she's mad at.
Yeah.
What is she mad
women's
at?
rights. Something about women's rights.
When have they lost anything?
Apparently, Trump's taking them away.
Oh, I didn't know she was on the panel.
Yeah.
I didn't know all of them were on the panel.
Apparently, Trump's taking away women's rights. I don't know
that.
what rights.
They're still pissed off about Roe versus Wade.
Yeah. It's not. Nobody has the right to kill a baby. Okay, first of all, let's get that out of the way because
According to them, yeah.
our founding documents give us the right to life. So the baby has a right to life. Our founding documents protect that. Okay, so let's just understand that much. So what they have to do is they have to make up a whole story and convoluted narrative that it's not a life. Yeah, that's where all that stuff comes from. Well, it's a clump of cells. Okay, all that stuff. So they have to make that up to get around that whole right to life thing. And then I do understand the right of a woman to do what she wants with her body. I get it. I totally understand, and I respect that, and I think that a woman should have the right to do what she wants with her body, but she's not only affecting her body. In this case, she's affecting her baby. And we, as responsible people, have to do what we can to protect that baby's life. This is why this conversation is so complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Trump didn't take anything away. It's now the government does not oversee it and override the state's laws, right? He just said, forget it. This topic is too complicated. We can't navigate through this thing anymore. We're going to give it to the states and let them figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
If you happen to live in a state where abortion is illegal, you can go to another state and have an abortion if you have to, right?
Mm-hmm.
I live in a state where the Second Amendment is totally corrupted and totally violated. I should not have to go to my sheriff's department and get permission to carry a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Why in the world do I have to get permission?
Maybe they should have permits for baby.
Well, the thing is, I don't need permission from another group of people to tell me whether or not I can carry a gun. The whole thing is preposterous, but I have chosen to stay here in New York, and because of other reasons, of other businesses and all sorts of stuff going on here in New York. It's not that easy for me to leave, so I stay, and I understand the consequences of staying here.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get an abortion every month, you might want to move to another state or stop complaining.
Well, maybe they should have like an abortion punch card, right? It's like a milk card.
Buy 9, get the 10th one free.
No, kill 5, 6th one to go to prison. Right?
I like that.
Hey, I mean, there was a woman bragging one time.
21, right?
21. I'm like, really?
21 abortions,
21
and she's
abortions.
proud of
And
that.
I'm like, are you? And that's what I have a problem with. I don't have a problem with if a woman gets raped and or whatever, or it's a medical emergency. But
Like,
if you're just out killing babies because you think it's cool,
Yeah.
there's something wrong with you.
There's something wrong with a lot of these people, but and just shaving their heads.
How is she even able to have kids at that point?
I don't know, but they're losing their minds over it. They're shaving their heads.
Oh my God!
They're shaving. We got a picture of one of the shaved heads. You're gonna like this. You got that picture of the shaved head girl?
What? Homie the clown. Homie, don't play that.
Now, who the hell in their right mind would do that? See,
Yeah,
they're not.
Wait a minute. Look at her eyebrows are drawn on.
They're not in their right mind. There's something wrong with these people. They've
What
seriously
is
been
going on?
Put it back there. Come on. Put Danny, bring that back up. We're not done with it. No, the other one. Yeah.
Oh. What is
Look at that. We call that clown pattern balls.
So I'm
names.
guessing it ran out of batteries or the electricity went off in the house. She didn't finish it.
What woman would do that to herself?
And think that looks okay. And then what are you going to go out and tell your friends? I shaved my head because I, the election screwed me all up.
But she left the clown balls on the side. Isn't that cute?
I don't know.
I
Look at
don't
those
get it.
eyebrows.
I don't get it. All right. Thank you, Danny. That's enough of that nonsense. But that's what they're doing. They've been convinced they've lost their rights.
So they're shaving their head.
So they're
What the hell
shaving
does
their-
shaving your head have to do with losing your rights?
The problem with that is now you look like an idiot and Trump is still your daddy.
I don't understand the whole concept of why you're shaving your head. What's it doing? I don't know.
There's
I
no...
can't.
Like, what's going to happen? Trump's going to say, okay, all right, we don't want you shaving your heads. We'll
Taking
change
the
it."
razors away. You can't sell them. You got to be 18 or over to get a razor. Oh,
It's so ridiculous. Anyway, speaking of Trump, we got Trump's plan coming up right after the break and a lot more stuff, so stick around. We'll be right back.
The Cali Key removes your AR from the definition of an assault weapon. It lets you keep your rifle with all its features, avoid registration hassles, and transport in hostile jurisdictions. The Cali Key also lets you hunt in jurisdictions like Pennsylvania and enhances long-range precision shooting. Cali Key's expert legal opinions empower informed decisions, and sales help grassroots Second Amendment organizations. Cali Key is your tool to keep and equip your AR, empower yourself, and defend your civil rights.
Our founding fathers saw them coming over 200 years away. That's why they wrote the Second Amendment. Join us in the fight to preserve your gun rights and stop unconstitutional gun control. Gun Owners of America is the country's only no-compromise gun rights organization. Not only do we inform and educate, but we bring the fight to court and win. Your God-given right to keep and bear arms is our top priority. Become a member today and help us take back America. Join us at gunowners.org. All right, so we have some pretty important stuff to talk about with respect to Trump's victory, and he's been getting on the media, and he's been talking about all the new things he's going to be doing. It's just a whole ton of stuff, but this is just one of those clips, so we can get an idea of what his plan is. And so let's just play the clip and then we'll talk about it.
Until the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all, and corruption it is. First, I will immediately reissue my 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively. Second, we will clean out all of the corrupt actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus, and there are plenty of them. The departments and agencies that have been weaponized will be completely overhauled so that faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and persecute conservatives, Christians, or the left's political enemies, which they're doing now at a level that nobody can believe even possible. Third, we will totally reform FISA courts, which are so corrupt that the judges seemingly do not care when they are lied to in warrant applications. So many judges have seen so many applications that they know were wrong, or at least they must have known. They do nothing about it. They're lied to. Fourth, to expose the hoaxes and abuses of power that have been tearing our country apart, we will establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying, censorship, and corruption, and there are plenty of them. Fifth, we will launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the fake news to deliberately weave false narratives and to subvert our government and our democracy. When possible, we will press criminal charges. Sixth, we will make every Inspector General's office independent and physically separated from the departments they oversee so they do not become the protectors of the deep state. Seventh, I will ask Congress to establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure they are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American people, or that they are not spying on someone's campaign like they spied on my campaign. Eighth, we will continue the effort launched by the Trump administration to move parts of the sprawling federal bureaucracy to new locations outside the Washington swamp. Just as I moved the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado, as many as 100,000 government positions could be moved out, and I mean immediately, of Washington to places filled with patriots who love America, and they really do love America. Ninth, I will work to ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at the companies they deal with and that they regulate. So they deal with these companies and they regulate these companies, and then they want to take jobs from these companies. Doesn't work that way. Such a public display cannot go on, and it's taking place all the time, like with Big Pharma. Finally, I will push a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people. Thank you very much.
So I've got the list here. We can just hit them real quick. He wants to reissue a 2020 executive order restoring president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats. Sounds good. Sounds good to me. He wants to clean out the bad actors in national security and overhaul the agencies. There was another statement that came out recently about that. When they're talking about that, they're talking about the DOJ, the FBI, and all the alphabet agencies. So I guess the fear will be less that FBI will be coming to your door, knocking on your door because you posted something on social media.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The FISA courts. He wants to reform the FISA courts and hold the judges accountable. So the FISA court, I'm going to read a little definition here. The court was created to oversee and manage surveillance requests on surveillance warrants on foreign soil against foreign spies or agents located within the United States. FISA court is a highly secretive panel of 11 federal judges who primary responsibility is to decide whether the U.S. government has enough evidence against foreign powers or individuals believed to be foreign agents to allow for their surveillance by the intelligence community. So, when you got these rogue people and these judges just signing off on this stuff, they're allowing for unwarranted spying and stuff like that. So that sounds good to me. Truth and Reconciliation Commission to expose hoaxes and abuses of power and declassify documents related to deep state spying, which kind of ties into the FISA courts, the censorship and corruption. So sounds to me like these people, the stuff will be declassified so everybody to see it. Now they can hide behind all this stuff because, classified, can't.
Yeah, their favorite word, classified.
Yep, can't open that. Crack down on government leakers who collude with left-wing media for the purpose of creating fake news that only benefits the Democrats.
Oh, it's been going on forever.
And he's talking about criminal charges when they apply, which is that's pretty cool too. So you get so what were some of those leaks? Anytime there was something going to happen about Trump, they would leak something to the press. Or, Roger Stone. Let me use Roger Stone as an example. And I think Roger Stone got raided in the early morning hours. But somehow CNN was there to film it. Like, how did they know? Was it Roger Stone or was it the one?
Did they call him?
It was one of those. I think it was Roger Stone. But one of these big cases where they were raided by the FBI, somehow CNN knew about it and was there to film the whole thing.
Oh.
So who's leaking this information to CNN? Right? So Trump will take care of that. Separate inspector general offices from the departments that they oversee to prevent protection of the deep state. So inspector general's offices, separate the offices from the departments. So that's another way of kind of putting a wall between the collusion. Create an auditing system to monitor intelligence agencies to ensure no spying on citizens, political campaigns, or running disinformation campaigns against Americans. And the reason he's doing this is because they spied on him. Obama set it up so they could spy on his campaign. How crooked you got to be? Spy on your political opponent's campaign because you're in power, Obama, dirtbag, and you have the ability to do it. They're just so corrupt. It's so crazy. I just hope Trump gets in there with no problems. Keep him safe until then, until January. Get him in there and let's get some work done. Break up bureaucracy to different locations around the country and get them outside the D.C. swamp, putting them in an environment where they're going to be held accountable to the people. So in other words, all these groups, these bureaucracies are in D.C., so they're all within that swamp, within that mindset, colluding with each other and stuff. You take those bureaucracies, you take those people, and you put them out in the Midwest for farming or out in, wherever for whatever they're responsible for, and they're going to now be responsible to the people that live there.
No more lunch breaks.
No more lunch. And then ban bureaucrats from taking jobs from companies that they regulate.
Pelosi.
Yeah. Well, she's betting on them. She's betting on the stock market.
She needs to get thrown right out of. She needs to be gone. She needs to be gone.
Well, these people they're regulating these companies, and then they're going to work for them.
Yeah.
How much more corrupt and biased can you be? Unbelievable. And the last thing, which is my favorite, and I hope it gets passed because it will clean up a lot of stuff, is to seek an amendment to the Constitution for term limits on members of Congress.
They all got it. They all should be. I don't know what his term limit should be, but I mean, I know what are they every 2 years in Congress and Senate?
Yeah,
maybe 12 years, 10. Bye. Go get a real job, dirtbag, and you get no pension.
I'd give him 4, like the presidency,
8
or,
years.
or 8 years.
8 years like the president. You get no pension, and you get no health care. You get nothing after you leave.
Yeah.
Just like a normal job that you leave it.
Yeah.
10 years, good. Go find something else to do.
Yeah.
Go find some other thing to destroy. I mean, yeah, you got dirtbags like Schumer,
Eric
Pelosi.
Swalwell.
Just they're all dirtbags who just like. Then you got that scumbag Delgado here. I haven't heard
Jerry Nadler.
You haven't heard a peep from that dirtbag lieutenant governor since he got the job. But then he has
where? Which one?
Delgado, our lieutenant governor.
Oh, okay.
Comes out and posts a disgusting thing about the election. It's the only time you ever hear anything from that dirtbag.
Yeah.
It's like, and I respond to him, what the hell have you done since you've been in office?
Yeah, haven't even heard of him.
Nothing. But then you come out and you put people down. It's just a dirtbag.
And Hochul and Whitmer and Newsom.
Hochul, and you got that. What's that?
Letitia James.
Oh yeah,
the AG.
Yeah,
they're all coming out before Trump is even in office, and they're vowing that they're going to fight against his policies. Now, why would you come out and say that? Why would you come out and say it right off the bat? We know, so it's obvious they don't want to work with him.
No.
And they're going to make it as difficult as possible again for the next 4 years. But I hope he just ignores them, puts his head to the ground, head to the desk, and does his work and gets the stuff done. That's
he said he was going to take away sanctuary cities too.
Yeah, that was another thing. Yep.
Well, then you got what's that? Boston mayor or governor telling him that he's not coming into her state and taking the illegals, the migrants.
Yeah.
Okay, here's an idea. How about we take all the migrants that we round up and bring them over there to Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Bankrupt that city in 10 days.
Well, what that mayor is that was the governor, right?
I think it's the mayor or governor. I don't know who it is.
I think it was the governor. Said that's that's illegal. She can't do that.
Yeah, she'll get
can't-
arrested.
Yeah.
You can't tell the president what you're going to do. You know?
But they've got everybody so brainwashed.
Oh, yeah. Massachusetts is a cesspool of just corruption, and she's just making it worse.
Just like New York,
Just like New York.
Connecticut, California.
Well, the polls were 55-45.
Yeah.
10%. He would have, had this state red.
Yeah. But they are so angry at him, and some of the radical Democrat supporters are so angry that they still want him either defeated or dead or something. Matter of fact, we have that picture of that tweet. Where do you see this? Do we have that tweet from the that one girl who's calling for? Looks like her name is Leah Lombardi, and she says, "Y'all ugly as F. Hope someone puts a pew-pew in your grandpa's head soon." Can you believe?
She should be arrested for that.
Can you? She should be.
Now, if that was me or you saying that about Kamala,
Yeah.
FBI.
But they have been conditioned to believe that he really is a bad guy. That's how they can go ahead and do that stuff. It's just absolutely crazy. Let me get to one of our sponsors real quick. You want to know who's fighting for your gun rights? Gun Owners of America. Now, GOA is the no compromise gun rights group, and I urge you to become a member at gunowners.org. What have they done? Well, GOA secured a preliminary injunction against the ATF pistol brace rule. GOA members submitted a record 85,000 plus comments opposing the ATF's universal registration check rule. They helped enact permitless carry in Nebraska and Florida. GOA secured victories in California, Illinois, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Plus, they won 2 legal victories against the ATF's zero tolerance policy. And GOA fought to overturn Joe Biden's ban on funding hunter education, shooting sports, and archery in schools. So with the constant attacks on our Second Amendment, we often ask ourselves, well, what can I do about it? This is what you can do. You can become a member at gunowners.org and help us save the Second Amendment. So, I think if that Massachusetts governor resists, I hope that he comes down hard.
I like the ICE director that he just appointed. He was going to appoint when the stupid CNN or whoever idiot it was asked him how he's going to, saying it's going to cost this much to deport. And he goes, well, what about, the families and the children? He goes, well, they can all be deported together.
Yeah,
we'll do it as a family package.
Tom Homan.
Yeah. So it's like,
yeah. No, they said, well, what are you going to separate families?
oh, he goes, no, the families can go together.
They can all stay together.
Right. Exactly. That's how you take care of the problem.
This guy is the best.
It's not racist. It's not this, that, or the. They need to get the hell out of our country.
Yeah.
You're here illegally. You gotta go. And now you saw the caravan turn around because the wall's going to be up before they get here.
Oh, did they?
And they said they were breaking apart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to take them months to get here. So by the time they get here, the wall's going to be up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Bye-bye. Yeah, we talked on the show about maybe a catapult would be nice.
$25, make our money back.
Get $25, everybody gets to pull the chain.
Family of 5 is $125. Actually, $100. If you buy 4, you get 1 free.
Oh, that's awful. We're going to get in trouble for that one. Anyway, I want to get to this other story here, too, before we run out of time. This is from New York Post. We love the New York Post. Furious Dem official brands Kamala Harris campaign a $1 billion disaster in a foul-mouthed tirade. Lindy Lee, who sits on the Democratic National Committee Finance Committee, raked Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign over the coals, branding it a $1 billion disaster and called for accountability after President-elect Donald Trump's victory. Lee at one point dropped an F-bomb during the television hit while venting that President Biden's late-stage decision to drop out was an FU to Democrats. She contended that she and others had been misled about Harris's chances in the election. She says, quote, "The truth is this is just an epic disaster, this $1 billion disaster," Lee bluntly told Fox and Friends Fox and Friends Weekend on Saturday, sorry. They're $20 million or $18 million in debt. It's incredible, and I raised millions of that, she said. I have friends that have to be accountable to and explain what happened because I told them it was a margin of error race.
Joe was forced out, stupid. He didn't make the decision.
Right.
Yeah, that's where they don't tell the
I
truth.
love
She already lied. She just
Right.
her first sentence was a lie.
I love the fact that they lost a ton of money. I think it's fantastic.
But even Trump said, let's help her pay her debt off. Now, who would say that? Right?
I heard that he said that.
He did say it. He said, I'd like the GOP to help Harris pay her debt off.
Why in the world did he say that?
Because he's just trying to be a good person.
I don't want to pay their debt.
No, he's asking, like, if they have any money left over, kind of help them.
I don't think we should do that. Screw
he
them.
offered it.
Yeah, but screw them. I think Trump is being too nice. Why should the GOP?
All those idiots that donated to her, she didn't have a chance. It just goes to show you she got destroyed.
Well, it says here, campaign filings have indicated that the Harris-Walz campaign took in at least $1 billion, and when combined with other aligned groups, the total was well over $1.6 billion. Notably, there's still another filing due for the month of October. Politico reported that the campaign was $20 million in the hole.
So this is stupid, like money wasted. It's just wasting money. Think about it. Commercials, expenses, hotels,
billboards,
whatever the garbage they did. That's the $1.6 billion just it's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to kick my TV over. I saw one of her commercials like 8 times in a row. I'm like, I'm not watching this.
I almost pulled an Elvis on my TV.
You gotta win this race.
You know what Elvis used to do? He used to shoot his TV.
Yeah, I was close to kicking a TV off the stand.
Lee is far from the only Democrat pointing fingers. Across the board, Democrats have been stunned by the scale of the loss last Tuesday and engaged in a mix of soul-searching and blame trading. Trump appears poised to have gained ground in every state except Washington since the 2020 election. Some are blaming Biden or the Harris-Walz campaign strategy. In other instances, prominent progressives have wrestled with concerns about identity politics, backlash to wokeism, patronizing messaging, elitism, and lack of an exciting agenda paved the way for Trump's victory.
Well, people didn't fall for the let's vote for the first black woman.
Yeah. They didn't just look at if they just looked at policy and said, what's going to...
She had nothing.
She had nothing. She wouldn't even talk about policy.
Right. And then someone came out and said, well, if she doesn't talk about it, then she can't get blamed for it. I'm like, wow, that's a great way to run it.
Oh, God.
It's like running with a pair of scissors facing the wrong way. And
well, I was scared that they were going to cheat big. And
no way they couldn't.
I believe that they did cheat because, think about it. Trump got about the same amount of votes, 70.
Yeah, I don't believe she got 60-something.
Right.
No way.
Right. I think what they did was they may have flipped some of Trump's votes to her, but they couldn't do enough of it to make her actually win. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them, and I don't care if I'm considered a conspiracy theorist. They did it in 2020, and I'm sure there was some cheating this time too.
Well, they're cheating now in Arizona. I mean, we're a weekend tomorrow, and we still don't have the seats flat. It's like, really?
How long does it take?
Arizona only doesn't have that many people.
What is the Arizona population anyway? Do we know?
It's
Arizona,
not a lot.
Let me see here. Arizona.
I mean, Taiwan, that's it.
7.431
Taiwan has 25 million people, and they did all their votes in one day. 24 hours later, they had a prime minister.
So Arizona's got 7.5 million. How much is
25 million one day
in New York? What's that, Danny? Can everybody hear you? Okay, so say it again so everybody can hear you.
Nevada has 3. New Mexico has 2 million.
Arizona has 7.5. Nevada has 3.
Arizona.
New Mexico has like 2.
Okay.
And they're still counting ballots from a week ago. This is where it literally election night. It's it. You're done. If your ballots aren't in by midnight when they're supposed to be, that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
But now we're a week away. We're a week away tomorrow. We still don't have a state that has 2 million people in it. There are 7 million. I mean, me, you, and Danny could have flew out to Nevada and counted those ballots in one day.
We could have counted them over lunch.
That's what I mean. What are we doing? I guess Arizona had like 24 pages. A ballot was 24 pages long. What the heck? 24 questions, 25 questions. What are you answering? Hey, what'd you have for dinner?
God. Oh my God.
Paper ballot's got to go.
That's got to go.
Just to me doesn't make any sense. So Arizona might be done before he gets inaugurated.
I'm worried about the House now. I want to make sure we got the House and make sure that's all secure. It looks like we got.
They're trying to cheat it so we don't get it.
Yeah,
they're trying.
Well, Carrie Lake should have a good team in place after the last time she got ripped off by what's her name? Who stole that? Was that Cinema?
No, she got bumped out. Now this guy is her representative, but I don't know. She lost by 400,000 or something like that.
Here, let me see something here.
I think her numbers are like 400,000 off.
Hobbs. Yeah, that's right. I said Cinema. Kathy Hobbs.
Yeah, she's not even in there anymore.
And she was useless too. She didn't even debate. She wouldn't debate Carrie Lake.
She knew she was going to win.
Yeah.
It's like Joe.
Didn't have to.
Joe knew he was going to cheat. Why would he debate? Why would he go on campaign? Yeah, milk and cookies every morning. He won.
He sat in his basement, did nothing.
And he won. 20 million extra people showed up.
20-some million extra votes than Obama and Trump and some of the biggest
vote
pollers.
They didn't vote this time. The most important election ever.
If you look at that trajectory of the number of votes that Democrats were getting, and you see the one where Joe spikes way up,
yeah,
you have to look at that. If you have any common sense, you have to look at that and say,
that's weird.
Something's wrong. That's not right.
I wish you could look up and see who voted, like somewhere. Like, see if, I'm pretty sure my dad voted this year and he died in 2020.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Should be a scroll of who voted where. I can guarantee there's a lot of dead people in 2020 that voted. A lot of cemeteries.
Why isn't that? Why don't we have those names documented? Why don't we have a master list?
It should be, because you're putting it in the computer. Each ballot you put in has a number and it's tied to your name.
Yeah.
I don't believe that we should have Democrat or Republican on anybody's thing. Nobody should know what you're voting for.
Well, I'm pretty sure that.
Can they hear you again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure whether or not you did vote is public knowledge, but who you voted for is not.
I'll have to run my father's name to see if he voted this year.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Even in 2020. Should be able to run the cemetery log and see, hey, look at Michael Smith. He died in 1891, but he voted this year.
He liked Kamala.
He voted for Kamala this year. Died in the Civil War. I wouldn't put it past him.
Nah, so much stuff going on. But I think with Trump's slogan, too big to rig, I think that really did it. And I think just the enthusiasm of people who've absolutely had enough of the Democrat nonsense.
Well, I saw something with Al Sharpton, who's the biggest dirtbag, racist garbage can running the earth right now, talking about how Latinos are disgusting and they're in the black community are just misogynist. They love that word.
Yeah.
They love.
Oh, yeah.
But they're calling these people like just all these dirty names. I'm just like, you're not helping yourself.
How do you ever expect people to vote for you?
And how does a guy who hasn't held a job his whole life, Reverend,
oh God,
he's owed the government millions in back taxes, still running around. How do people even respect that dirtbag?
Yeah.
You're calling out your own people.
You know, it is amazing when you think about it, how the Democrats insult everybody, and then they expect their vote.
Stupid morons still vote for him.
Well, this this election may change that trajectory a little bit. Now, next presidential election, when we get J.D. Vance running or Trump Jr. or somebody like that, I think people will really see. Problem is, some people are so stupid.
No,
they can't remember
the
4 years
hard
ago.
liberals are never going to change.
And they can't remember 4 years ago.
No.
It's like they're in the moment. And they can't remember what happened 4 years or how their life was.
They don't even remember Trump's presidency being good.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't do anything good for us. I'm like,
kidding?
huh?
That
Well, I didn't have any more money in my pocket. No, but you weren't spending as much. See, that's not about you're getting a raise. Your job has nothing to do with Trump. That's your boss's issue, not giving you a raise, maybe because you suck or you didn't come to work. But you had more money in your bank account, so you were buying cheaper stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, he opens up the oil and gas comes down and the housing market gets better because you can't even buy a house anymore.
No.
You're buying garbage for $400,000. That needs $200,000 worth of work.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
No, I know it. We were
No American dream under the Democrats.
No, we wanted to buy a new house, and we said,
Who the hell wants to buy a house for
we're just
8%? It's stupid.
we're just going to wait.
You buy a house for $400,000, you end up paying $1.5 million for it. That's stupid. That's just stupid.
Nope, I know.
Who was making money? The bank. The bank is raping you every time you make a payment.
Yep.
It's hopefully I pray that Trump fixes the housing market where people can actually go buy a damn house and the prices come down. I mean, you're looking at crap houses.
Oh, I know.
Houses that are garbage, and they want $400,000 or $500,000 for them.
Exactly.
Like, what the hell?
I know.
Like 20 years ago, you could get a beautiful house for $150,000, $180,000, $200,000.
Yeah.
Not now.
And different markets, too. Like, we're in New York. Everything is much more expensive in New York State, where you can get twice the house
In Texas.
Yeah.
Or even in Florida.
Parts of Florida. Florida's getting a little
I was
expensive,
looking
too.
at
But
Florida land. You can get like 3 acres down in Corpus Christi somewhere, like in the middle there, like area, for like $8,000. Try to buy 2 acres in New York. $60,000. I said, is there an oil well under here?
yeah. Is there gold? Is there a
Does
gold
this
mine?
house come with a gold brick, or what are we doing? I really hope he fixes the market or does something for the housing so people can actually afford a house.
I think it will. I think Trump will do a good job. But I hear the music. That means we got to go. But thanks so much for watching us on all our networks. And if you want to catch the podcast, we're in podcast form everywhere. My name's Dan Wass. And remember, the Second Amendment is not a privilege. It's your right.